Welcome, art lovers, to the Spring 2026 Fromm class on the life and work of Vincent van Gogh. Before we start with Vincent's art, let me tell you something about his family, childhood, and early career. Vincent was the eldest of 6 children of the Reverend Theodorus van Gogh, a minister in the Protestant Dutch Reformed Church, and of his wife, Anna Carbentus. They lived in the Brabant, a region near the Belgian border. As a child, Vincent was obstreperous, ill-tempered, the least pleasant of the Van Gogh children. As a teenager, he was sent away to boarding school, and at age 16, he had 3 career options. One, to be an art dealer like his uncles and later his brother Theo. 2, to go into the ministry like his father and grandfather. Or 3, to become an artist like his cousin's husband, Anton Mauve. At age 16, Vincent left home and apprenticed at the Hague branch of an art dealer that his uncle Vincent had established before he he worked at the Brussels office and then the London office before his uncle had Vincent transferred to the Paris headquarters. But he neglected his work, was unpopular with his colleagues and customers alike. In 1876, he hands in his notice, ending his art dealing career. He attempted to study theology, but failed, tried to become a lay preacher, but was found unsuited. Finally, at age 27, he opted to become an artist, studied anatomical and perspective drawing at the Art Academy in Brussels, spent time working under guidance of his cousin-in-law, Mauve, a leading painter in The Hague. He matriculated at the École des Beaux-Arts in Antwerp, decided to move to Paris to take classes in the studio of Ferdinand Cormon. So, this course is about the life and work of Vincent van Gogh, and we're going to look at his work in a moment. Vincent's story is one of the most tragic in art history. Today, he's celebrated the world over as one of the most important painters of all time, recognized with sell-out shows at museums and record prices of tens of millions of dollars at auction. Yet as he was painting the canvases that would subsequently become these sell-out modern masterpieces, Van Gogh was battling not only the disinterest of his contemporary audiences, but also devastating bouts of mental illness, with episodes of depression and paralyzing anxiety, which would eventually claim his life in 1890, when he committed suicide shortly after his 37th birthday. This is an early Van Gogh genre scene, genre meaning depicting scenes from ordinary life. It shows a cottage which is sort of gloomily lit and from a single light source, and poor Dutch peasants. But Van Gogh liked the idea that these folks who tilled the earth with their hands are also putting them into the dish to eat. A young woman is serving up portions, and an older woman opposite her is serving barley malt coffee into cups because they couldn't afford regular coffee. This is a portrait painter. He did quite a lot of portraits, but it's of Agostina Segatori, who owned a café, Du Tambourin, a gathering spot for Parisian artists, where their work was exhibited, as you can see against the walls there. The paintings that you see here, the portrait, is of Agostina, a woman in her 40s, and you can see she's smoking, and having a second glass of beer, as evidenced by the two saucers under the mug. In demeanor and style, her clothing is and makeup, she's a modern woman. She's wearing a fashionable hat according to the style of the time. Her jacket is a different design than her dress, and there's a parasol sits on the chair next to her. Notice the tables and chairs are like tambourine, drums, and this work is already much more colorful than his earlier Dutch paintings. These are two of his self-portraits wearing felt hats, one 1886, one 1887. The dark brown, clay tone, and rust orange in this painting was from his early Paris, one of his early Paris portraits, and it corresponds, the palette, to what was the realist tradition. By contrast, the newly blue palette here, the following year in 1887, expresses a strong desire to escape the realist tradition, an endorsement of the infinite potential afforded by the expressive forms of art such as Impressionism or Post-Impressionism. This is a still life painting that Van Gogh did of sunflowers. Sunflowers were synonymous with Van Gogh. His famous yellow flowers are some of the most iconic artworks of his career. He painted 7 versions of the sunflowers. The first 4 of the series were created in 1888, just before Gauguin arrived at the Yellow House in Arles in southern France. Van Gogh was eager to please his guest, and so, knowing that Gauguin liked his earlier sunflower still lifes, he began to create his famous series, and he hung 2 of the paintings in the guest bedroom ready for Gauguin's arrival. This is called the Starry Night over the Rhone. It was painted on the banks of the Rhone, and which was at a place about 1 or 2 minutes walk from his house. The night sky and the effect of light at night provided the subject for other Van Gogh portraits, such as the Café Terrasse at night and the canvas from Saint-Rémy, the Starry Night, which we'll see next. Van Gogh's technique evolved, the brightness of the stars being symbolized by concentric circles. You can see these concentric circles and dotted circles. In the foreground, you can see 2 strolling lovers. This is the Starry Night, which is one of his best-known works, and you can see it's a matter of swirls that make this composition, emphasizing the subject matter. There's a significant dynamism created from the thick application of the brush strokes in flowing and circular lines. The darker hues of blue to create contrast with the lighter blue. The moon itself is a bright shade of yellow. Some believe that the Starry Night is a symbol of his inner turmoil. This is his bedroom in Arles, and he wrote about it in a letter to his brother Theo. It's simply my bedroom, but the color has to do the job here. From the walls are pale violet, the floor is a green tiles, the bedstead and chairs are brown, and the sheets and the pillows are a fresh butter yellow. I love that precise description that he has for the colors in his room. And of course, the blanket is bright red, the window shade is green, and there's a blue basin, and the door is lilac. So the solidity of the furniture should also now express unshakable repose. Portraits on the wall, and a mirror and hand towel, and some clothes here, up here. Lastly, this is a bridge that he painted using a perspective frame to create a exact perspective, and he was influenced by Japanese woodcut prints. And the colors are very harmonious. Contrasting colors such as blue and yellow were used to bring a vibrancy to the works. He painted it with an impasto. That means it's thickly applied paint using color to depict the reflection of light. And the subject matter, a drawbridge over a canal, reminded him of his homeland in the Netherlands. A woman with an umbrella is crossing the bridge. Close up with some concluding remarks. So, dear Frommies, I hope these few paintings I've selected from over 2,000 works produced by Van Gogh during his 10-year career as a painter have tempted you to enroll in our course on the life and work of Vincent van Gogh. I look forward to seeing you online in the spring semester 2026.